Shut off now. Shut off. Hi there, and welcome back to the 6th Avenue on the next 6 minutes. You know, it's not always easy to get your content out, particularly when you have problems of just little snafus here and there that prevent you from producing something that you feel comfortable throwing out onto the internet for everybody else to critique and scrutinize and so on and so forth. You have those occasions where you have to film something over and over and over and over again because of one reason or the other, and it really sucks. It's really tough when you have problems getting your message out. But in my case, it's really no fault of anybody else's but my own, and I really only have myself to blame for me not being able to get my message out. And well, not everybody has that comfort, that silver lining to look upon, particularly when it comes to people who try to speak on college campuses and have their platforms just deed from them like crazy. If you're familiar with the UC Davis and UC Berkeley riots, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She didn't have the luxury of she didn't, well, she just didn't. And why? Why indeed? Anti-black, capitalist, imperialist, fascist, agenda. Agenda doesn't really have to be in quotes. Or was it? Or does it? Okay. McKenna, goodness. No. Now, as I said before, I would explain later about something. Well, there is one of those objects of contention. These the Now, as I explained, there was something that I wanted to elaborate further on, and that is the focal point, the fulcrum, um, the pivot point. Pivot point. Now, there was something that I wanted to elaborate further on, and that is the pivot point, the point of contention, where not publicly give enough, at the very least, the same amount of attention as they do the supposed. And well, you know, also blatantly, but blanketly cast this. I'm having, and it's tough to articulate and brain fart these ideas out in a way that is going to be at all helpful in persuading the other side to see where you're coming from and give merit to your ideas. I'm going to be filming this part here. We'll get to the rest of that later. Okay. That's here. Okay. What's your intro? Okay. Three's a charm. Oh, yes. Well, hello and welcome back to the 6th Avenue on the next 6 minutes. I've tried to film this this particular video about maybe 3 times. I think this is the 3rd time I've tried to film this thing in its entirety, and well, the last 2 takes were not, up to my standards. So we're going to try this one again. Okay, and the tri-state area dwindled from 181,551 to 160,332. I'm really just bombing this one. Over the same period record show. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go back and do this again because it's just ridiculous. Okay. The main idea here is that I have no way of confirming this for myself because, well, I don't have enough information to go on. But okay, it's at this point my brain kind of short circuits, and I don't really have, I don't have that procession of thoughts that I would normally otherwise have. I don't exactly know what people are going for, other than say, so this is where the this is where the video goes off the rails. I'm done with this. Have a good day. Hi there, and welcome back to the 6th Avenue on the next 6 minutes. If I appear a little sluggish, try that again. Now, before I get into the meat of the argument here, I want to preface this by saying the meat of the matter. Before I get into the meat of the matter, I would like to preface this by saying that by saying no, it needs more style. Okay. Before I get into the meat of the matter, I'd like to preface this what? It's getting messy. I don't like messy. Okay. I know there's two very different schools of thought there. You can do that better. Okay. The state has given a few private universities the authority to have a police force, but never a church or non-school entity. Fuck. We're going to do this again. As I stated before, this article did set off a few alarm bells in my mind, and yes, that does indicate that I have a few problems with this, and, well, as I stated before, this has set off a few alarm bells in my mind, and of course that does, of course, indicate that, we could try that again. First, let's oh gosh, this is gonna be a messy fucking thing. Okay. Before I go much further, I want to address some of the issues brought up by the article itself, insofar as usually you see, well, not usual. Okay. These kinds of police, these kinds of police departments, just say departments. These type of police departments usually have, not usually, they always have. Get it right. These kinds of police departments, was I even looking at the camera? I don't think I was even looking at the camera. Anyhow, these types of police departments have limitations, have jurisdictional limitations, enlisted to enforce laws on. Son of a bitch. Pap. Okay, one more time. These types of police departments, gosh, I'm going to hate this. These types of police departments, 5 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These types of police departments usually have, not usually, they always have, damn it. And the problem, son of a gun. So that's about all I have to say about that. I'm going to continue to readjust my sleep schedule and be a lot sharper for the next next few videos. Thank you for sticking with me through this very difficult shoot. And I will get hard to work on the next episode of the 6th Avenue on the next 6 minutes. Until then, have a great Easter weekend. quiet. No, 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 no. You have to be quiet. Hush. Hush. No, 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 no. You have to be quiet. Oh, gosh. The community, all over. In late 2016, he applied for a permit to carry a handgun. Cat, knock it off. In late 2016, he applied for a permit to carry a handgun. A permit to carry a gun. Shh, shh. Quiet. And court documents show that he has had run-ins with the law enforcement. Okay. That's a little bit disturbing to which tend to take things too far. And what I take with issue, try that one again. I tend to disagree because of the. So what we have here is seeks to enforce this just who this type of thinking, what we are seeing here is the bottom line is that that can't be done here. This isn't Europe, and so on and so forth. Until then, you have a wonderful weekend and enjoy the rest of your evening or morning or whatever. I'm going to go have a sandwich. Oh, you girls want some cheeseburger? You want some cheeseburger? Okay, I give you cheeseburger. I give you cheeseburger. Yum, 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 yum. No, I can talk. Shia LaBeouf hasn't done anything stupid. At least not again. Yeah. The Kikistanis chased him out of Finland, so I guess we're waiting on stuff to happen there. Anyway, oh, camera's on. Yeah, not supposed to be on. Video hasn't started yet. The Restart Life Center says parents have been asking to it where the cell phone culture, I think, just had some of its popular culture. Anyway, rambling on about that. I can't even begin to scratch the surface of how. Well, you all take care, and well, try to regain some of that focus, get centered, so on and so forth. Okay. Camera off. Camera off. Hi there, and welcome back to the 6th Avenue on the next 6 minutes. Today we're going to try something a little different. We're going to try something that I refer to as half-moon clips. That means I have 3 stories that I kind of just discovered all at the same time, and I really didn't want to devote just a single episode to each one of these stories, so in lieu of that I have Hi there, and welcome back to the 6th Avenue on the next 6 minutes. Today we're going to try something a little different. This is what I would call... No, we can do that better. No, we'll try that one again. Well, thank you for joining me on this first episode of Half Moon Clips. Well, thank you for joining me all on this journey. Our first story comes to us. Our first story comes to us. Couple of false starts, but we'll get there. Our first story comes to us all the way from... Goodness. Our first story comes to us from... Our first story comes to us from... We'll get it. Our first story comes to us all the way from the island of Japan, where there seems to be a shortage in snack food. I'll get to the article just to... Auction website Friday. Screechy scratchy? Kitty catty? Potato chips are a big deal in Japan, a country also known for its Okay, I'm going to try that one again. Potato chips are a big deal in Japan. The island of Okinawa. The island of Okinawa, and that is due largely mostly because of the adoption of two. That's a challenge that we are given, so we either take it or we don't. Anyhow, that was the first story, so we're going to get on to the break while I prepare for the next one.